Hi, and welcome to another tutorial brought to you by trainingps.com. Today we're going to be working on this picture here, and we're going to use one of the actions that are going to be available in our new action pack called Action Pack 1, which really deals with actions that are based for photographers, professionals, hobbyists, just anybody who wants to speed up their workflow and maybe just be able to play without having to put a lot of time into the pictures. But one of the actions we're going to show today is extracting a person from a white background, which a lot of people want to do, and not have to spend a whole lot of time doing it. So this is a real simple action. It gets you really close, and then I'm going to show you how to get the rest of the way. So let's get started. We've got our background here. I purposely shot this. It's overly white. As you can see, the hair is blown out some, the arms are blown out some, and this would be more of a trouble for any of the selection tools to try to grab that right. So what we're going to use is we're going to use one of these actions here, and we're going to use a CMYK remove white. And how we're going to do this is, the first thing you need to do is you need to go to image mode CMYK and just say OK, and then we're going to run the action, and it automatically comes up and reminds you to be in CMYK. So it stops the action in case you have to do it. Go ahead and hit play, let it run its action. Once it's finished, that's all you have to do. We're going to go into the channels, and what you want to find is a channel that has a lot of contrast between that white and the person. And for me, I think I've done this already once, and magenta seemed to work pretty good for it. So I'm just going to make a copy of magenta. I think, yeah, I'd already done it, so let's get rid of that. So we have our magenta layer here. We're going to go back. We're just going to go ahead and go back to our RGB color because we're done. Don't flatten it. No need to do that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Shift Delete, and that's going to bring up the fill option. And we want to choose black, blending mode, overlay. Say OK. We're going to do that again. Shift Delete, black, overlay. And we're going to do that again, black. And then this time we're going to hit it and we're going to say white. And we'll do it one more time with black. And that's going to get us really close to where we want to be already. You're going to see there's a few little issues, but we're going to pick those up real quick. What we're going to do is grab our brush tool. We're going to select normal. We're going to select black. Increase our brush size, and we're just going to paint in some of these little areas that weren't picked up originally. It's real easy because we aren't near the edges, so it doesn't take any time at all to do. Now, as you can see, we got a few little problems, but we're going to fix those also. We're going to go to our brush tool, select overlay, black, and we're just going to paint in just a little bit of this area right now, just to get closer. No big deal. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to inverse Command I, our mask, and we're going to Alt Option and click on the mask, or Command Option, again, I'm sorry, a little sick today. And we have that. We're going to go back to RGB, go back to our layers. We can turn this off. That's for something else, and we're going to show this in a later tutorial. But for right now, we're going to go to our background, and we're just going to make a duplicate copy of it, and we're going to select mask. We can turn off our background. We haven't altered it in any way, and we're going to make another new layer, and this time we're going to edit fill, or shift delete, and we're going to fill it, goodness, with 50% gray, just so we can get an idea where we're at here. And we're already almost there. I mean, this isn't bad, but we can do better, and we will. So we're going to click on the mask here, and we're going to go to Mask Edge. This is going to bring up the Refine Mask. And from here, all we're going to do is click the Smart Radius, and this thing is so great because you just move it up, and it automatically starts to tweak the image down. And it's really getting this hair really well, as you can tell. We can go in here. I like to put just a touch of feather, touch of contrast, and maybe a little bit of shift edge. We're going to decontaminate just to see if we can get rid of some of that white. And now we're going to paint with the brush here just over some of this hair. And it's going to pick up some of this area here. We're not too worried about this arm here at all. I'm going to show you why. But we're just going to get this hair. It's going to touch it up just a little where it needs to be touched up. That looks really good. We're going to say OK. Alright, and remember these arms had a little bit of a problem. And what we're going to do is hit Alt or Option in the mask, and that's going to bring us back in. We can zoom in a little bit, and we're going to pull back our brush with white in the mode of overlay, and we're going to paint over these arms, and that brings every bit of that detail right back without any trouble at all. Now you're going to notice down here in the leg we have lost just a little bit of what we see through. And I'm going to click back on the layer so we can see it up close that we do have white. Now when you're painting with the brush on the mask and overlay, you can actually paint on this layer and see exactly what we're doing and how we're getting rid of things. And you see, we can get rid of some of this. And a lot of it is going to be just going in and really tweaking it if you want to get this gone. And I'm going to go ahead, just for being fast, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to brush some of this away. Because I know in my final image this isn't going to be shown anyway, so I'm not worried about it. What we had done is we had just gone a little bit too far and we'd pushed those blacks out. Alright, so there we go. We have a perfectly cut out person, and all we have to do now, I have a layer here, and it's all it is just a little background I'd found. Nice pretty beach setting. Who doesn't like to be on the beach? And we're going to grab our person. We're going to drag them over to the new layer and just drop them on it. I'm going to Command T to bring up the free transform, and I'm going to scale it down and adjust them into place here where I want them to be. Don't want to cover up the palm tree, it's part of the look. And there you have it. With just a few minutes of work, you can even touch somebody out of a white background using one of our brand new actions, and it saves you a ton of time and a ton of work. I hope you enjoyed it. Check back again where we're going to go over a green screen.